Law 18.
Fight for the first 5 seconds.
It's all about first impressions and how crucial they are.
Absolutely. Like, no matter what you're trying to do.
You know, Bartlett, he's a great storyteller.
Yeah, he really is.
He doesn't just talk about this stuff, he lives it.
His book is full of stories, and the way he opens his presentations
Oh, man, I saw one.
is a perfect example.
He starts with this phone call with his mom.
Right.
And she's basically disowning him
Intense.
for dropping out of university.
It grabs you right away.
You're hooked.
Do you want to know what happens next?
Is that risky, though?
That could be.
To be that dramatic?
Yeah, some people might find it off-putting.
But he knows his audience.
He does.
And he's not afraid to push some buttons.
He's willing to be vulnerable, too.
To get that attention.
It's real, and people connect with that.
And it makes you think about all those boring presentations.
Yeah.
You know,
So many of them.
the ones that just start with like, good morning, here's my resume.
And you just tune out.
Immediately.
He calls it the
What that phrase
the
is?
delusional, self-centered bubble.
Yeah.
Where you think everyone's going to be fascinated just because it's your idea.
But you got to fight for that attention.
You do.
Those first 5 seconds.
Yeah, that's the key.
So it's not about being flashy.
Not necessarily.
It's about understanding.
Then you have to earn it.
Earn the attention.
Yeah, and he actually says a lot of his marketing success comes from that.
He's worked with some huge brands.
Huge. Apple, Coca-Cola.
Without even a sales team.
Amazing, right?
How'd he do that?
He's captivating from the start,
Okay.
using stories, emotion
Gotcha.
to really connect with people.
And, you know, he admits he has a short attention span himself.
He does. That's what makes him so good at this.
It's like, if he can keep himself engaged.
He can keep anyone engaged.
I feel that.
We all have shorter attention spans these days, right?
Social media, everything fighting for our attention.
Totally.
It's a battle.
He uses this analogy
Oh, yeah. I like this one.
about Jenny.
Jenny, who's having the worst day.
The worst possible day.
Stressed, overwhelmed, distracted.
If you can get her attention.
You can get anyone's.
Exactly.
It's about meeting the audience where they are.
Recognizing all that noise they're dealing with.
Right, and cutting through it.
Exactly.
I see that everywhere now.
Oh, yeah.
Like on YouTube, those videos that start with just chaos
Total chaos.
to hook you in.
Like MrBeast,
Potentially the first
billionaire YouTuber.
with, what, 150 million subscribers?
Something like that.
He's a master.
Of the hook.
Every video starts with a promise
A clear promise.
of what you're going to get.
Compelling, too.
Like, I spent $2.5 million on this private jet.
Wow.
Whoever keeps their hand on it longest wins it.
Immediately, you want to know what happens?
You're hooked?
Those first 5 seconds, they set the whole thing up.
It's like a mini cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Bartlett even talks about a client's video
Oh, right.
that wasn't doing well.
And what did they do?
They re-edited.
Just the beginning.
Yeah, just the first 5 seconds,
To make them more engaging.
and it went viral.
It proves the point.
Those first moments,
They matter.
they have a ripple effect.
On the whole message.
Whether it's a video,
Presentation.
even a conversation.
Right.
So what about email?
Email.
How do we fight for those 5 seconds in an email?
You got to get creative.
Yeah.
Your subject line.
Yeah.
That's your hook.
Instead of
Project update.
project update,
Try something like,
let's hear it.
this one change increased our click-through rate by 25%.
Ooh, see, now I want to know more.
Exactly.
That's good.
It's all about making people want to open that email.
Just like those first 5 seconds of a video?
Yeah, or a presentation.
I feel like we've been underestimating this for so long.
We have.
Those first few moments.
And we're just scratching the surface here.
There's more.
Bartlett goes even deeper.
Okay, hit me with it.
He says human attention spans are now
Shorter than...
a goldfish's.
What?
Shorter than a goldfish.
Seriously? No way.
That's the world we live in.
I guess that explains why I can't even finish a TikTok sometimes.
It's tough out there.
So we have less time than a goldfish.
To get someone's attention.
Wow.
How does that change your approach?
It makes you think
Does.
about how crucial it is.
To be impactful.
Right from the start.
And memorable.
Yeah, those first 5 seconds.
They have to count.
That's the challenge.
It is.
To make them count.
But we can do it.
I think so too.
We'll talk more about that next time.
Can't wait.
Me neither. Okay, so strategy.
Let's get tactical.
Think about all those presentations
Yeah.
you've sat through
So many.
that start with good morning
And a boring slide.
with their resume.
Ugh. I'm already zoning out.
Right.
It's painful.
Such a wasted opportunity.
What should they do instead?
Start with a question.
Oh,
A thought-provoking one.
I like that.
Or a stat.
A statistic.
Yeah, something surprising.
To grab your attention.
Exactly.
A quick story.
Oh, a story
Something personal.
that connects to the topic.
Yeah, like Bartlett's phone call.
With his mom,
It sets the tone.
it makes you pay attention.
Right, you're not just presenting information.
You're telling a story.
You want people to be part of it.
Good presentations, I get it.
But what about emails?
Emails are tough
They can be.
to make engaging.
But the same idea applies your subject line.
It's like that first 5 seconds.
It is.
So instead of
Project update.
project update, which is so boring.
Try something like,
Give me an example.
this one change boosted our click-through rate by 25%.
Ooh, I'd open that.
See?
That's good.
It makes you curious.
It does.
You want to know more? Just like with a video.
Or a presentation.
Right. But once they open the email,
Then what?
how do you keep them hooked?
Get to the point.
Don't waste time.
Exactly. No fluff.
Just the important stuff.
Front load it,
So the key takeaway first.
and then the details.
So it's like that,
Inverted pyramid,
yeah, that's it.
like journalists use,
Respecting the reader's time,
and making sure they get the main point.
even if they don't read everything.
Right.
Okay, so presentations, emails.
Well,
What about just like regular conversation?
conversations.
Yeah, like meeting someone new.
Oh, I see.
How does Law 18 apply there?
Think about it. Instead of, hi, how are you?
Which is so generic.
Start with a compliment
Okay.
or an observation
Something specific.
that sparks a connection.
Like, I love your shoes.
Yeah.
Where did you get them?
It's real.
It is.
It breaks the ice.
It makes the other person feel seen.
And then the conversation flows.
I like that.
It's natural.
This is making me rethink how I talk to people.
It's powerful stuff.
Even small things like texting.
It applies everywhere.
Law 18.
To any communication.
A business pitch.
A blog post.
Even just telling a story.
to a friend.
It's like you never get a second chance.
To make a first impression.
But now we have a way to make it count.
We do.
And it all comes down to
Attention.
attention is precious.
Especially these days.
We have to earn it
Respect it.
and make the most of those first 5 seconds.
Exactly.
This feels bigger than just business.
It is.
It's about life.
It's about connection.
Making those connections meaningful.
From the very beginning.
This has been eye-opening.
But it also makes me think about
What?
all the things working against us.
Like what?
All those distractions.
Yeah, distractions are everywhere.
Bartlett talks about attention pathogens.
Attention pathogens, what are those?
Things that harm our focus.
Like our phones,
Phones, social media,
the constant notifications.
the endless scrolling.
It's designed to keep us hooked,
The algorithms know what we want.
and they feed it to us.
It's no wonder our attention spans are shrinking.
It's a battle
A constant battle.
against these digital sirens.
And it's not just our work,
It affects everything,
our relationship,
our mental health,
even our ability to think.
to think deeply, creatively.
It's a problem.
So what can we do?
Are we doomed?
To distraction?
Not necessarily.
Okay,
Bartlett has some advice.
I'm listening.
First, awareness.
Awareness of what?
Our own attention habits.
How we're using our attention,
Are we checking our phones out of habit?
or because we're actually expecting something.
I know I'm guilty of mindless scrolling.
Me too.
It's like a reflex.
But if we recognize it
We can break free.
and reclaim our attention,
Exactly.
and then we can focus
What
on
matters?
things that fuel our creativity.
And our well-being.
Right, so awareness is key
And then create the right environment.
for focus.
Maybe turn off notifications
Put the phone away
when you need to concentrate.
or have tech-free zones,
In your home
little sanctuaries.
for peace and quiet.
I like that.
It's about being intentional,
With our attention,
not letting it be hijacked.
by distraction,
Exactly.
I feel empowered
Good.
to take back control
It's time to fight back
against those attention pathogens.
and create a more mindful life.
A more focused life.
And remember,
It's not just about us
it's about creating a culture.
that values focus.
Deep thinking.
So companies should encourage work-life balance.
Minimize distraction.
And we need to teach kids
Healthy attention habits.
from a young age
It's about shifting our priorities.
as a society.
Recognizing that attention is precious.
It's a resource.
And that brings us back to,
Storytelling.
in a world full of information,
Stories stand out
they capture our attention.
like nothing else.
They make us feel,
They make us think.
and they make us want to know more.
And that's why Law 18 matters.
It reminds us
That those first 5 seconds
of any story.
are crucial
There are chance
to connect.
to make a lasting impression.
Man, this Law 18 stuff.
It's a game changer
It feels like Bartlett's given us this like cheat code
for communication
for cutting through all the noise.
and making a real impact.
And the best part,
What's that? It's so practical.
It is, right?
It's not just some theory
You can actually use
in your everyday life
the framework,
to improve how you communicate.
no matter what you're trying to do.
It's like he's given us this superpower
A superpower
to captivate people,
to make them listen.
but without being manipulative.
Right. It's not about tricks.
It's about authenticity,
It is.
crafting a message
That really connects.
that sparks curiosity.
It makes them want more.
And I love that he gives examples.
Oh, yeah. He's great at that.
Real world stuff,
Anecdotes, techniques.
things we can actually use
It's a toolkit.
for better communication.
Exactly.
His book is a great example.
The way he structures each law,
With those hooks.
it proves his point.
It does.
I'm already thinking about how to use this.
Oh, yeah.
My social media posts.
Make them more engaging.
My presentations.
Revamp them completely.
Law 18, it's my secret weapon now.
And remember,
It's not just the big stuff.
what do you mean?
It's every email,
Every conversation.
every interaction.
Those first 5 seconds.
They matter more than we think.
So whether you're pitching an idea
Inspiring your team.
or just talking to a friend,
Make those moments count.
this has been a game changer.
I'm glad to hear that.
I'm seeing communication in a whole new light.
And I hope you feel empowered
I do.
to go out there
And share your story.
with the world.
1 5-second interval at a time.
That's the key.
This deep dive has been amazing.
It's been a pleasure.
Thanks for joining us, everyone.
And remember,
Make those first 5 seconds count.
we'll see you next time.